I know it's late, but so what? I felt like going live. That's what I'm doing. Playback gang. Shout out to y'all. Make sure you log on to doggydiamondstv.com. That is my official website. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and let me know where you from, man. I need to know where my audience is from. Leave a comment on the video where you from. Leave it now, too. Leave it right now. As you listening to this, leave a comment where you from. Also, have you heard about my $100 promo deal? If you didn't, let me give you some details really, really quick. First and foremost, the promotion will be done on Doggie Diamonds TV, as well as the Interlude TV. That's the Insta stories, the YouTube community, the threads, the Facebook, the Twitter accounts. I could promote whatever you need. But as a reminder, this is for serious inquiries only. Must be Cash App ready. I can help you bring more awareness to your products, your t-shirts, your music, your YouTube, your whatever you got going on. I can help you bring more awareness to that via my platform. Just hit me up at Doggy Diamonds on Instagram. Let's go. Okay, don't forget. Doggie Diamonds did this. Shout out to everybody who's joining me on the late night. I see Praise the Lordy in the building. Rakeem Jackson, what's going on? Joel King 9794, what's up? Chakra King Black 4197 is in the building. I know it's late. It's on that bull, what's up? It's impromptu. I didn't even tell you I was coming on. I just loaded up the program and just went live. You know what I'm saying? West side of Chicago in the building via Carlos Hernandez. Make sure you get them likes up too. I couldn't wait for tomorrow. I could have waited for tomorrow to talk about this, but nah, I gotta talk about this tonight. I feel some kind of way. So I want to get this off real quick. Then I could go on my merry way. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta talk about this. And don't forget, Doggie Diamonds did this. Yes. Stockholm, Sweden is in the building. Groovy Gucci, what's up? Early morning, okay. I like that. We got Sweden in the building. We got UK in the building. We got Chi-Town in the building. It's only 9-something on the West Coast. Central is only 10-something. Uh-oh, Mother Gaston is in the building. Yes. Yes. Here we go, man. The Bronx is in the building. Okay, we got Tyrone James in the building. She got St. Louis in the building. Okay. We got What's New in the Lou. Oh, that's a fly name right there. 416. I don't know area codes. I ain't even gonna hold you. I be stuck on store. All right. Michael Hayes. We got B-More in the building. And make sure you leave the comment on the video too so other people can see. Because if they don't join us in the chat, they can't see. Right? So we want them to be able to see on the actual video after the playback. Make sure you go and leave where you from on the video. Denise Love, okay. Ohio is midnight. All right, so we'll be a half hour ahead of you. Interesting. It's midnight in Ohio? Okay. Rakeem Jackson, I appreciate you. Always setting off that super chat. Toronto. All right, that's what it is. 416 is Toronto. You learn something new every day. Doug Williams, Baltimore's in the building. B-More is here. We got B-More. We're Brooklyn. Oh, we got some Brooklyn here. We got Mother Gaston. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget. Doggie Diamonds did this. I really had a, yeah, I just watched the Jake Paul fight. That's why I didn't come on early. I was watching the fight. And I didn't want to come on while the fight was on, so I didn't want y'all to, you know, have to deal with that. Philly She, that means Philly is in the building. I'm gonna get to it, man. I'm not gonna hold y'all late, I promise. I'm gonna get to it tonight, and you know, I'm gonna get to it, man. I'm gonna get to it because this is important for me to say. What's up, everybody? I go by the name of Doggie Diamonds. This is Doggie Diamonds TV. Doggie Diamonds No Filter. This is YouTube. Yo. So I'm seeing all over social media. First and foremost, 21 Savage put out an album called What Happened to the Streets. Right? And shout out to Troy Ave. I just spoke to him last night, ironically. I just spoke to Troy Ave last night. And anyway, that's another conversation. He put out an album called "What Happened to the Streets." It didn't really do as well as expected as he normally does. He normally does like a buck. This is slated to do 53,000. I guess he hit the panic button, got on the marketing, and I think after the marketing that he put forth, now he's slated to do about 90. Um, yeah, slated to do about 90,000, which he's still under his mark, but still a high mark. Should I take 90,000? But ironically, they started saying F the streets. All of these street rappers, all these people who care who's a snitch, you know, they call 6ix9ine a snitch, they call Troy Ave a snitch. They always talking about who's a snitch, who's not a snitch, the streets this, the street that. All these street rappers started saying F the streets. Now we should be saying hip hip hooray and commending that. I think it's marketing. So I'm not really going to commend anybody till I see more action than tweets. So as I could show you via hotnewhiphop.com, look, 21 Savage inspires various hip hop artists to condemn the streets. Mind you, they amass their riches, their cars, their jewelry, their women, their notoriety from being street guys selling the streets. So Young Thug, F the streets. Pooh Shiesty said it. YF and Lucci said it. G Herbo said it. Everybody's saying F the street. I seen Meek Mill said it. Future said it. Little Baby said it. I seen them. This is the new thing that they're saying. F the streets. And the issue that I have with that is that what we've been saying all along. What have we been saying for the past few years? And when I say myself, I say y'all too, because I got the platform to say it. But y'all been in tune with what I was saying about this street stuff. This whole street thing that is always marketed and promoted. F the streets. And we should be happy that they're saying this, right? But I think it's very disingenuous because we've been battling this street mantra for so long, some of us, and put our platforms on the line, put our livelihoods on the line. And I'm going to be real with you. I come from that. I don't condone it. I don't really tell you too much about my past street record or anything like that or what I did out there. But it is what it is. You know, if you know, you know. But that's not what my platform is about. My platform is not about no history of anything with the street. My platform is more about what took place in the music industry and how the streets corroded the minds of our youth and even grown-ass men. Now they call them teen years. So when the album ain't doing well, now it's F the streets. But F the streets after so many dudes have been unalive. So many dudes is in prison right now. After they made all this money. After they help add on to a lot of the problems. Now F the streets. Hip hop come from the streets because street people made it. But hip hop is not street because like I said the other night, and I seen some bozo broad in my comments saying, no matter what, he always finds a way to talk about himself. Well, guess what, bozo? It's called Doggie Diamonds No Filter, and I'm going to talk about myself forever because this is my show, and I like to make the correlation between my life and what's going on in the culture and my experiences. You don't watch it, you don't like it, take your big titty ass on and watch somebody else. Because I seen you making videos talking about how you miss your baby father. You got other things you need to be worried about. Don't worry about me. And I'm with all the shit, because sometimes I be letting a lot of stuff slide. I let a lot of people say stuff, and I be trying to take the high road. Sometimes I don't want to take the high road. Sometimes I just want to dwell with the mortals and give you a swift kick in the ass and then go back up on my mountain. I felt like doing that. So, I have mad videos. Every time you see me sit with my first cousin Tad, all we talk about is how the street thing is dead. We need to move on. That those videos don't get no views. We don't get rewarded for doing that. There is no cash apps. There's no super chats. There is nothing. That's just coming from the heart, coming from two guys who seen our childhood friends unalive before they had facial hair, who got homies in prison right now, who I've been stabbed. He's been shot in our teens, and a bunch of other stuff that took place that I don't, even want to talk about because it's nothing to glorify. So all we ever do is tell y'all how none of this is cool. There's no money in the cure. There's only money in the sickness. The streets is a sickness, and it's not the streets because, like I told Troy Ave, it's not the streets, it's the mentality. It's having this mentality. But if you got the little dudes who's looking at you and you amassing riches and you got the rollie and you got the house and you got the all of this shit, right? And you got that from being a street guy, why would they want to be somebody like me? Because in their mind, they don't know what I have. And we base success off of materialism. That's why people are quick to show you what they have. They quick to show you what they got from certain mentalities and certain things. And even me talking like this ain't favorable. It ain't popular. Nobody want to hear this shit, Sharif. But I do got a core people that don't mind me saying it. So that's why I don't deviate from the message. I've been talking like this for 19 years. I ain't going to stop because it's really, really in me. We really got a youth group. We really doing things in the community, really stopping gang situations and all that shit in the community that I'm from. And I don't even be around sometimes, but dudes will call me and I make a phone call or two and tell dudes to chill. Just like when these dudes be playing games with me and dudes be calling like, what you want to do? I be like, chill. Because I don't want to hurt nobody kids or nobody father or nothing like that over some internet shit, because that's all it is, because I still walk around untouched. Straight like that. And ain't no man gonna stand before me and do and say nothing. I don't care if it's 5 of them. That's just the truth. Track record proven. We don't have to get to that. But people have put their livelihood on the line trying to change the mentality. Y'all notice I never job shame. I shout out everybody, whether you are the maintenance man, to the truck driver, to the cashier, to the banker, everybody who has a job that take care of their family, salute to you. I preach sobriety. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Y'all know I work out like a maniac every day. I eat a certain way. There is no money in that. There is no money in the cure. There is no money. People say, oh, you say the same shit every day. Well, they say the same shit every day and it's destructive. So people will be mad at me and others like me because we say we're clean and we sober. We don't do drugs. We don't womanize. We not deviants. I'm not out here trying to tell you to sell drugs or consume them. There's no popularity in that. Imagine if I use my platform for evil, how far I would be. But it's just not in me to do that because I would be going against who? Self. It wouldn't feel right or sit right with me because I know my little nieces and nephew and guard kids watch me. So of course they can't watch me all the time, but there's certain things that they could pick up. Right? So we got this whole street thing. And one of the things that we have as black men and women is we start talking about street cred, which a lot of people don't have street cred. I'm just being real with you. A lot of people, especially dudes who be like Brooklyn this, Brooklyn that, I've never seen them in Brooklyn nowhere. I don't know them for nothing or anything. And you know what? I also don't care because guess what? Erase everything that I've ever done or was out there doing. You know why? Because I don't partake in certain shit because I'm a grown ass man. You cannot call me to stand somewhere doing nothing. All right? I live in a nice crib. I drive a nice car. I live good. I got everything that I desired and want that I worked hard for. So there is no way that you can take me from all of the things I work hard for to go someplace where somebody want to take me away from that, whether it's prison or the morgue. I don't have no time for any of that. Or just hanging around shiftless dudes who might be mad because they didn't get a post or might be mad because they didn't get a like and they can't wait to line me. I know how it go. So I just avoid it. The best thing to do is to avoid it. Just avoid it. It don't make you no sucker, don't make you no punk. Makes you responsible and it makes you grown. Because people always say what we too old for, and then when we do age appropriate shit, they call us old. That's how you get the teen years. That's how you get people trying to prove to people who don't matter that they still outside. Outside doing what? Like I told y'all, it is bums, respectfully, it is homeless people, it is stray cats outside, it is possums, it is raccoons outside in certain places. Being outside means nothing. Being able to go to an unruly, shiftless hood means shit. It don't mean nothing, because if you really living the way you want to portray you live, there is no way you're going to leave all that. I got a PS5. I got an Xbox One. I got a Lenovo Go. I probably got like 5 drum machines. I got a MacBook Pro. Y'all know I got a few keyboards. This is a gaming. I wish I could just take a picture and show y'all what I'm working with right here so y'all can see all of this right here, right? I got things that I like, and I got things that help me create. I always tell y'all, if I can't create, I'm just not going to be able to survive and live, because my mind is always working. That's why I have 50 tabs open. That's how my brain goes, right? I go outside, I go to the supermarket, I go to the gym when I feel like it, or I go outside to eat when I feel like I want something from outside, other than that I'm cooking in the crib. That don't make me nothing. But for rappers to be like, F the streets, what have y'all been promoting and marketing for like the last 20 years? Everything is street cred. Everything is about nerds. Everything is about geeks. Everything is about weirdos. You remember once upon a time, they was trying to clown me and tell y'all, he's not a street guy, he's smart. Remember that? They was trying to tell you he's intelligent, he's not a street guy. And then they gonna get somebody fucked up. But the same people who say I'm not a street guy will not stand in front of me and say that, because what is a street guy? See, this is the problem, right? What is a street guy? What is a street nigga? Because that sounds like pure ignorance to me. And they've amassed riches. They got budgets, they got sponsors, they done flew around the world promoting street idiocracy. And then when the numbers ain't numbering and things ain't going right, they could just wake up and say, fuck the streets. Let me tell you why that's problematic. Because you can't say F something if you're not a part of fixing the problem that you might have added on to. You can say F it, then y'all could come together as a collective, make a facility for these kids and these little dudes who y'all misled via the gangs, the drugs, the usage, the selling, the gang joining the gangs, the jail, the women, the some of the mook shit y'all be into, all the destructive things that y'all are into. That's street shit. Right? Y'all not telling nobody to stay in school. Y'all not getting MacBooks for 50, 60 kids. Y'all don't have a facility for these kids to go to, whether young or old, or even some of the older dudes who's stuck between a crossroad on, yo, I want to go to school, but I don't have the right clothes, or I want to go to school, but somebody in my family suffer from substance abuse, or it's different scenarios that y'all amass riches and millions that now y'all can help. So if you're going to say F the streets, I want to see y'all implement something to save the streets now, because y'all are part of fucking it up via your word, via your influence. So I don't want to hear no more slime. I don't want to hear none of this slang. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want the bloke 21 Savage. Change the name from 21 Savage. How could you say F the streets and your name is 21 Savage? You know what a savage is? You in pursuit of happiness? So this is what I'm saying. I don't get how you got these names and you carry it on like this, but then you want to say F the streets. But that's equivalent to me going in my other room right there, one of my bedrooms, and fucking it up. Leaving it dirty, stinking, and then say F this room. You can't do that. You got to go clean the room up. So until y'all clean the streets up, until y'all implement something that's helping the streets that you helped destroy, I don't believe none of y'all. And that goes from Chicago, Philly, Atlanta, New York, everybody who said F the streets. Clean up. It's easy. Get with your local politicians. Get with some of these groups and organizations that do stuff for the children and add on. That's it. So if you're saying F the streets, so what you're doing now is you created Frankensteins, and then now you leaving them unattended, but they were created off of your instruction. So if you start doing something per my instruction, and I got all of these followers and following, then that means I could give instructions. So that's why I use my platform to give instruction on certain things. And if you want further instructions, we can have a private session, but I give instruction. I know my instruction is not that palatable because sometimes I'm a little harsh. I don't know. Some people just might not like me, whatever the case may be. But they follow the instruction. They just don't want to follow me. But they copy. So you got all these savages, you got all these dudes wearing pocketbooks and nail polish and all these tattoos on their face. Only way that I believe somebody is really, really, really a changed individual, everything has to be behavioral. It cannot be something you say, it is something you do. You cannot say F the streets because you know what? The streets is real. There's really young men and young women who have a certain behavior thinking that that's what they have to do. It's been marketed, promoted, and advertised to them. Whether it was the music, whether it was love and hip hop, whether it was the reality TV shows, whether it was the talk shows, whether it was the podcast, whether it was anything, whether it was the movie, regardless to what, it's been more bad put out than it has been good. Right? When we want to talk about hip hop, we can't even really talk about hip hop because there really is no hip hop. So now a lot of shit is drying up. And I'm seeing people want to change their message. And people might say, yo, this is a good thing. Nah, you don't just get off like that because some of us have put it all on the line. And I'm not by myself. It's been a lot of people putting it all on the line. You people in the chat, the people who ride with me, the people who've been here for a while know what type of time we on. We always said all that shit was stupid. But we be alone. We be alone with that. We see the low vibrational stuff everywhere. So what does this do for people like academics now? Poetic Flacco, Adam 22. What are they gonna talk about now? Because they talk about street shit. And then they get order protections and all that shit like that. So what's gonna happen to these platforms when now they're forced to talk about stuff that's going to be helpful to the youth? Because it ain't about us. I live a good life. Right? I don't want for nothing. I'm gonna be real with you. I live a great life. But people have amassed riches off of destruction and filth. And you mean to tell me everybody can't come together and give back? Because that's what time we on now. If it's fuck the streets, then it's fuck the streets. I don't want to hear that the streets need a body. The streets need that. Now, what happens when these dudes finally got a rap now? When the lyrics got to have substance, are they capable of doing it? Or is it something, let's defend them for 1 second. And maybe it's something that they always wanted to do, but they were told by the industry, the labels, their peers, nobody want to hear that. Because for the most part, really, nobody really wants to hear that. You see a lot of conscious dudes in the shade room comments. You see a lot of stuff going on. that I sometimes I be like, damn, I be feeling like I'm on an island by myself because I really ain't with the shits. I really don't follow and deal with a lot. I just don't because it don't resonate with me. That's not who I am. I'm not going along to get along. I don't want to fit in with nothing. I was born an individual. I do not have a twin. Of course, we all have dual spirits. I have duality sometimes, but I do not have a twin. And I do not have any man or woman in my life that is that influential that I got to change my ways and actions to fit up with them and be with them. No, not a damn soul. And I've always been pig-headed, and I've always been a loner a certain way in the spirit. I always did things the way I wanted to do it if it sat right with me. If it didn't sit right with me, fine. But when I get up in the mirror and I hit these jibs, I don't see your face, I see mine. So I got to be ready and willing to live with me. I'm not a person you can convince or anything. I'm not a person that you could talk to. And I don't see shit from your point of view. I'll never see shit from people's point of view because I'm willing to go all out, standing on my own too. I'm willing to go all out. Whether I'm risking views, whether I'm risking subscribers, who cares? Who cares? Shit, I already got more out of this than what I ever thought I was going to get. Shit, when I was a kid, I slept next to white dog shit on the floor. You really want to know my life? I grew up fucked up. How much do I really need? I got. So even when people look at you and tell you not accomplished, that's because they don't know where you come from. They don't know where you come from. A lot of people don't know your story. They don't know your past. They don't know your current story. And they also don't know your future. So when people tell you what you don't got or what you not in comparison to somebody else, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I know what I am and I know what I come from. I know where I come from and I know where I'm going and I plan to execute every day. So don't let nobody trick you out of you not being confident in yourself or your ability or your accomplishments based off of somebody else. Because average people who say what I'm not, they ain't shit. And that's proven. And we ain't even got to brag. Because one thing I got is this. Remember, my name is Diamonds. I was formed under pressure. I was born under pressure. So pressure don't mean nothing to me. I always show up and perform. That's the easy part. I've been under pressure my whole life. I was born into pressure. So fuck all that. But my issue is some of us have really been authentic. Not too many people have been authentic. A lot of people do stuff because they're going to get rewarded. They're going to try to say the real shit. They're going to try to say shit, but they don't live it. They're not really about that. My problem is I really live this shit. Some of y'all really live it. Some of you got to get up and go to work. Some of you might be at work now. Salute to you. Stay the course. Do not feel bad or do not feel like you're missing anything because anything that you don't have, sometimes you are being protected from certain things. You couldn't make it there, yo, you were being protected from it. You're not around this person no more, you were being protected from it. Stop thinking that you're missing out because this faux streets, this faux shit that they created, it doesn't exist. That's it, because if it existed and it was truly beneficial, they wouldn't want to get rid of it. Them niggas ain't in the streets. The niggas live in gated communities, houses and shit. I be telling dudes, you talking crazy to me. You don't even got the money or resources to bury yourself. You don't got the money or resources to fuck with a nigga like me. If I really was using my platform for bad, I could make it bad for a lot of people. But you talking crazy to me and you playing on the internet and they gonna have a fucking fish fry for you. They're gonna have to do a GoFundMe for you because you're playing on the internet, following dopes who got lawyers, who got stupid crash outs and stupid goons. That's why I never followed these dudes. That's why I don't even listen to these guys. I don't listen to that shit. Don't resonate with me. I got a whole different mind state. Do you know what it's like when you're completely sober, when you don't have things in your heart. Only issue that I have, I'm gonna be completely open and honest with y'all. The only problem that I have is that I always want to fuck somebody up. I'm gonna be real with you. I do have that problem. I always want to ball this up and belt somebody in their mouth. That's just the only problem I have. But other than that, you could not coerce me with no liquor, no weed, no pills, no women. So when you cannot coerce me with these so-called material goods or these get highs or all this shit, you cannot control me because you don't know how to get through to me. A lot of people don't know how to get through to me. They be like, I don't even really know what to say to him because anything you think I'm with, I ain't with that shit. That's for the weirdos. If I wanted to drink, I don't need you to drink. If I wanted to smoke, I don't need you to smoke. If I want to eat, I don't eat off no man. Nobody feeds me. I don't get food stamps. I don't get none of that. So I can't be controlled. So a lot of the music that these guys do and a lot of shit they into, I look at them like, the fuck you doing that for? Is that what you really want to do? Or that's what you think you got to do? Because there's no way that you are of a certain age and thinking that you got to fit in when you're made to stand out. All of us are very creative. Rap might not be your thing. Podcasting might not be your thing. Doing videos, you might be creative in ways that I wish I could be creative. I see some people, sometimes my grandmother could take one of them damn, she could take some yarn and make a blanket. Now I'm a dude, but when I see her make them blankets, I be like, damn, how did she do that? So all of us have a genius level talent. All of us have things that we could do. It just so happened that we so-called monkey see, monkey do, and they're doing this, so I want to do it. You run away from your talent. You run away from your skill, trying to fit in when you're not meant to fit in. See, when I was doing this shit, remember, it wasn't popular. It wasn't popular to get on camera and talk or do interviews. That shit wasn't popular. Now it's pop culture. I'm not going to stop because I helped start this shit. But everybody think they could do it. We're going to see a lot of people fail. We're going to see a lot of people succeed. It don't matter. But one thing I don't like is we have people who have sacrificed. And I'm one of them. I really sacrificed my brand. Because when people say, yo, why you not father? Think about this. Even if you're an artist in the chat room or on the playback, there's certain things that you just didn't do. Because it just wasn't you. Not that anybody even called you to do it. Because, you know, some people be like, I ain't make it because I ain't sell my soul. Nobody wanted your damn soul. Cut it out. But certain things just didn't resonate with you. Right? Certain things didn't resonate with you. It didn't resonate for you to say, yo, I'm getting desperate. I'm making the OnlyFans. It didn't resonate for you to say, yo, I want to be promiscuous. Certain things just didn't. Some of us was just raised right and some of us was raised wrong, but we didn't want to be what we saw. Right? So if you had a parent that had substance abuse issues, you didn't want to be them, or they was alcoholic, or they were drunk, or they might have been a pimp, prostitute, or whatever. You didn't want to be that. So you saying, nah, I gotta change. I don't want to be like them. But you know how fucking hard it is to be you in a world when everybody's trying to be everybody else? Because people will make you think you bugged out. I've had people say to me, so what do you do for fun? Yo, I talk shit for a living. I make 6 figures talking shit. It just so happened to be some real shit. I make graphics. I make beats. You don't think that's fun? Oh, I get it, because I can't tell you about a pack that I'm selling. I can't tell you how much gallons I drink or how many rollies I got, or, oh, I know there is no fun. There is no fun in that. There's nothing more fun than getting paid and earning a living off of being creative. There's nothing more fun than that. Especially when you're not harming nobody. I'm not fucking harming nobody. I mean, I'm a self-admitting asshole. But I'm an asshole for good. I just so happen to like put people in a place that play games because y'all can't and y'all see it frequently and you don't have the mouth or you don't have the platform to say something. So I shit, I be the bad guy. You don't see, I don't try to kiss nobody ass to get along with them. I don't be none of that. I don't be broing niggas. I don't do none of that. People move a certain way that's not in alignment with what I'm about. I move away from them. They go on some different shit. You want to do a little Tony Montana? You want to do a line? You want to drink all the time? You want to talk about chicks? Yo, we ain't got nothing in common. I don't care about none of that. And you're not going to try to meet me where I'm at because that is some things that you could fall for too, with people trying to say, oh, we just alike. We just stand the third. No, we not. Because I'm crazy. And if you not crazy, then we ain't alike. But what am I crazy for? I'm crazy for my loved ones. I'm crazy for the people I care about. I might be crazy to them too. Might be a little annoying, but that's besides the point. But let's hold these dudes accountable from now. Don't fall victim. Don't fall back into none of this. The streets, when we start hearing these raps and we got to hold people accountable. We got to start saying, yo, man, we don't want that no more. It's really time to change. Maybe this is going to be the renaissance of conscious hip hop coming back. And not that conscious hip hop that was out before, and a lot of them dudes was undercover mooks too. We're going to have to talk about that one day. Because we be deceived by people because we keep looking at people in uniform. And just because a person has on a white coat with a name tag, that don't mean they a doctor because they got a stethoscope on too. We really going to have to start vetting people and making people show their credentials because a lot of people don't be doing that. They'll put on a stethoscope, the white coat, and a name tag, and oh, that's a doctor. Yeah, okay. We're going to have to start screening people. We're going to have to start screening people or just ignore them. But it's like when things don't work, you know, why did it take K-Flock to get 30 years? Why did it take for Bobby Shmurda and them to go to jail and do all this time and come back? Why did it take all of this to happen for dudes to start saying the streets, F the streets? Meek Mill had Lil Snoop pass away, unfortunately. R.I.P. to that little dude. Young Dolph, Takeoff. It wasn't dead when Take got taken away, no pun intended. But just sometimes the words be wording and the universe is in alignment, so it just happens like that. It wasn't dead when the YSL thing happened. It wasn't dead then. Y'all didn't say F it then. We should have been on that type of time. Maybe some of the guys would be here in the physical or on this plane. But we like to see shit happen because it becomes a story. And the story, the joke's on us. Listen, let me tell you something. The problem is the whole world looks at us. They call us names. They say all types of shit. Then they start emulating it and imitating it. And then sometimes when you can see something, you realize how stupid you look. You ever do something and you might have caught yourself on camera or you took a picture and you had the jack, you might have been in a picture like this. And you realize I'm never making that face again. But people don't look at themselves because they be so inebriated, so intoxicated. Look how many people they been telling to get high, get drunk. And this dude had a fucking sign up that said, I'm a slut. This dude had a sign that said, I'm a slut. What are we doing? How are some of these guys coming from fortunate backgrounds, but acting like they unfortunate because that's what they think they got to do? No, bro, if you had your mother, salute to you. I don't know what that feel like. I'm never going to get a phone call from a mom or a dad, ever. I never got a phone call from a mom in my life. So if you could still get that, you fortunate. What you want to be a nigga for? What you want to be a loser for? Because you were paid to be that. You were rewarded for that. Niggas start tattooing their face and doing all types of weird, like, what's wrong with you? First of all, I would never do anything that would take away my features of my family. So when dudes start altering their face and altering their appearance and doing all types of weird shit, that means you don't like your family features. All of us had commonalities in our family, right? You might look like a little bit like your mother or your father, your grandfather, your uncle. The minute you say, whoop, I don't like this nose, you just got rid of your family nose. So it's just a lot. But I wasn't going to keep y'all tonight. This is just more for people who want to play back. If you want to hit the like button, fine. If you don't, I'm at the point where I'm just going to do me. I ain't even, this shit is just so this is all from my subconscious. This ain't even nothing that I thought out. I just did artwork and just came live. I didn't even have no prepared speech and none of that. I'm just shooting from the hip as I do a lot of times, but I didn't really sit here and go through this in my mind because I probably could say more. I probably could get more in depth. I probably could delve into a little bit, but I didn't even really have time to do none of that because the fight was on and I'm like, yo, when the fight go off, I'm gonna go live. But I'm just trying to bring y'all content on a constant and just be more constant with the content, and just bring y'all different things and just give y'all perspective and insight, one to grow on, because we really all we got. We really our own community. They did enough damage, and a lot of people are not from where we're from, and they made themselves elite, right? Because what they did was we faced years, and even to this present day, we face racism. And now we got black people who think they could implement classism. So because you got something, if this has G's on it, or LV on, and I think this is a Versace. Yeah, this is Versace. Because you got G's on it or it's Versace on it, this matters. A little piece of cloth. Come on, man. We gotta do better than that. Most people don't even got their happiness and their health, and they just talk them. They could show you this. You know what I'm saying? But they jibs is fake. Their hair is, you know what I'm saying? Like real shit that we need to worry about. We just omitted all of that from real life. Niggas don't go to the doctor. Niggas don't do shit. You know what I'm saying? Dudes don't do a lot, but they could show you a watch. They could show you a car. And you know what's funny? I got all that shit too. You know when I bought that shit? 2002. When I thought that was the rapper starter kit. When I went in there and said, yo, I need a big brolic chain with ice, and my chain is so unique that I still could wear it. But I'm like, yo, I don't even know where my jewelry is at. I don't even know. I don't even know. Don't care. Don't care to show it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I was in a different mind state. I didn't, they say when you know better, you do better. But when is these dudes gonna know better? So it is gonna be people who commend them. Yeah, they finally saying what we've been saying. Nope. Let's hold them to the task. Okay. You cannot go in the room and piss on the wall and draw on the wall and say F that room, because that room still got to get cleaned up. So if you was a part of dirtying up the streets with the filth, with the drugs, with the promiscuity, with all the mentality, you can't say F it now. Can't say F it. You can't be a part of raising children a certain way and be like, F them kids, because them kids turned out how you raised them. And we got to keep it real. As a society, the children and the youth is being raised because everybody aspires to be like what they think they need to be like, because a person could show materialism. So whatever said person did, I want to do that too. Even if it's something that's destructive. That's why a lot of dudes rat and snitch and tell, because they not built for that. Let me say something about that too, right? Because I really personally don't care who told, right? I ain't with it. I don't care. That ain't got nothing to do with me, right? I don't commit crime with nobody. I will never be in a situation where a person could tell on me with anything, right? And if these dudes could pillow talk and tell chick shit about you, imagine what they do for their freedom anyway. So I think everybody would tell. That's just a whole nother thing. But the average individual is not even educated, formally educated, can't read, can't write. You'd be surprised who cannot read and write. So you mean to tell me we have people who can't read and write, come from broken homes, might be mathematicians though, and chemists, that's a whole nother thing, that they're sitting down with trained professionals that are there to trick them, and you don't think they're going to get tricked? That's speaking legalese and speaking a language and speaking shit that you don't even understand, that when you read this line, it say one thing, but then when you read the fourth line, it's different from the first line, but you going off the first line, but you didn't read what they say, the fine print. Because even with contracts, this say one thing, but then this cancel that out. But all you hear is, yo, you could go home. They didn't tell you in 20 years or 15 years of what you're looking at. Or they start softening the blow. Yo, you 20. What you did is supposed to be 90 years. But I could get you out. Or I could work and we could work on something. You could get out by the time you're 35. You still be ripe. You still be fresh. Take a few programs. And you got people who are professionals to trick you, who has been on a job tricking you for years. You're not accustomed to this. You don't know. You don't even know you telling sometimes. You think you're helping. And then you have some people who blatantly tell. But look at the upbringing. You was raised to not be a tattletale by some. And then sometimes you were raised, if something happened, tell. The confusion starts when you were a child, because that's how things happen to you as a child, because you don't want to tell, because you were told not to tell. Or somebody do something to you that they have no business doing, and they say what? Don't tell. And then when we in a community where snitching is a big deal, people think that they can possibly be a snitch. And they don't know that those titles are only made for people who operate in the underworld. But nobody wants to be a snitch, because a snitch is a piece of shit in the eyes of people who don't matter. Not even knowing everybody who I seen was a snitch got rewarded. They got movies made about them. They done made money. They got podcasts. They got all types of shit. The dudes who stand tall get nothing. Tad tell me every day, yo, no good deed goes unpunished. As you think you helping somebody, they might not think you doing shit. So it's all perception now. You can say, yo, I want to do this for you. I want to do that. Can't do something for somebody who don't want it, or say I didn't ask you to do it. So we screwed. We are completely screwed. That's all I wanted to say to y'all. I wasn't going to keep y'all that long. But I do want to say, station identification. Subscribe to my YouTube. And if you want to interview here, you want to do some content with me, this is the information right here. To get interviewed on Doggie Diamonds TV, just hit me on IG at Doggie Diamonds. You want to hop on a special offer because this is a 35-minute interview that includes social media promo. It could be live streamed or taped, and an additional guest can be in your interview. Listen, man, all I'm saying to y'all is if you have somebody that could be older than you, your peer, or somebody younger, start having healthy dialogue with people as far as what you want to implement on a personal, what y'all want to do together, and keep each other sharp. Because it's a lot of dull knives. Keep each other sharp. Start discussing each other and discussing future endeavors instead of discussing people. Because a lot of people, they already, it was written. A lot of people, it's over for them already. They might be young and they might be old. You know why? Because everything is in the mind. Everything is in the mentality. Look how people think. It ain't no rap song, ain't no video, ain't no podcast, ain't no, none of that shit gonna save you if you don't got the right mind for it. And a lot of people don't have the right mind. They think the next song is gonna save them. They think, watch when I do this next interview, they think that shit gonna save them. Nah, we live in nanosecond by nanosecond, by second, by minute, by hour, by day. This is how life is. Life is about instances. How did you perform in this scene? Do you see the way that I could change these scenes? This is how life is. Life is about scenes. How did you perform in this scene? That's what life is. You got to show up and you got to perform. One poor decision erases everything. It could erase your past and your future. One poor decision. So you just got to show up and you got to stay chiseled. And a lot of people not, because they fell victim to what they think everybody else wants them to do, or how they want to be depicted by others, or where they want to fit in at. I don't know. I think I'm just made to stand out. So I don't really want to fit in nowhere. I know I'm a loner. I didn't even know that about myself. I thought that, but then I'm realizing, yo, you spend a lot of time by yourself, because it ain't too many like-minded people. You do some shit that annoy me, I don't want to be around you. That's just me. I don't have to argue with nobody. I'm not going to argue with myself. But yo, on that note, man, until next time, I'm out of here. Make sure you hit the like button. I'm Doggie Diamonds. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I got some content dropping tomorrow. I'll holla. Peace. And don't forget,
Doggie Diamonds did this.
And if you hit the logo, you can subscribe to the channel. And watch these related videos too, where it says check out my new videos. Watch either one of those. Until next time.